And I think the open border was the biggest one. I mean, it was one of the biggest ones because people just felt hopeless. Like, this is crazy. Like, what you're doing, you're letting in what's equivalent, at least, if you're just being charitable, it's 10 million people.
It was huge.
If you're just being conservative, it's 10 times Austin. You let 10 Austins in 4 years of people who you have no idea who they are.
Yeah, and Americans were on board with closing the borders, and then when it came time to actually getting those folks to leave that came in, all the support disappeared, right? I mean,
well, it's not asking them to leave; it's showing up at Home Depot and just rounding people up and raiding places and going to restaurants and pulling people out of their houses. And I think people got very uncomfortable with the idea of militarized police wearing masks on the street.
Yeah,
and then when you find out that these guys have only been trained for 7 weeks and they get a $50,000 signing bonus. And then you find out that a giant percentage of them are Latino, which is kind of crazy. You know, like the 2 guys who shot that guy in Minnesota, they're both Latino.
And I mean, that's what you get when you have completely untrained, unprepared people.
Well,
that
the whole Minnesota thing with Alex Peretti is a complete clusterfuck. I still have not seen verification of whether or not the narrative that makes sense is true, but the narrative that makes sense was that there was an accidental discharge of his gun as they were pulling it away from him, and then that led to them thinking that maybe he still had the gun on him because you're in the chaos of arresting someone. Someone says he has a gun goes off, and then they shoot the guy. Yeah.
I bet when they do the proper evaluation of it, they're going to find multiple mistakes.
I'm sure
by the law enforcement in that situation.
And then there was the thing with the woman who got shot, where you have a guy who had almost been run over just a couple of weeks before and been dragged in his car. The guy who shot her had been dragged by another vehicle.
I didn't see that.
I think he got dragged like 300 feet too, something crazy. So when a car is coming at him, you could imagine this guy's got some PTSD from that, and
he should not have been. He should not have been.
No,
and also Alex Peretti
it shouldn't have said that fucking bitch like after he shoots her in the face too. That's crazy too.
Yeah, I mean the reaction, just the heartlessness of the reaction to the killings was terrible, including by the administration. That's probably why Kristi Noem ended up having to go.
But then on the other side, these protests are organized. They're organized and they're paid for, which is also something to that people need to understand. These are not organic protests. It's not organic that it just happened to be taking place in the very same place where you found hundreds of millions of dollars in fraud, right? This is one of the clearest, most obvious distractions you've ever seen, like in the public arena, like where you have these people who are being paid to protest. They give them money to go out there and protest. They give them signs. They're organizing it. They have signal groups. They're doxing all these different ICE workers. They find out what their license plate numbers are. They find out where they're staying. They go to their hotel. The local cops are being told to stand down. So you've got like this convergence of all these factors that lead to chaos. And, you know, Mike Benz was talking about it, and he was essentially saying it's a mathematical thing, and that if you have these things play out, you're going to have a certain amount. It was Mike Benz, right? It was saying that it was a certain amount of people you're going to have incidences. You're just playing it out over the numbers. Certain amount of these protests. You have organized protests. You have untrained ICE agents. You have a lot of chaos. You have support for people screaming in the streets. Someone gets shot. Boom, and then it moves the needle. And this is calculated.
Yes.
They want this to happen. They want it to happen this way because then this kills all the support for people that, you know, we're kind of on the fence whether or not ICE should be deporting all illegals. Excuse me. Whether it should whether they should just go after violent criminals. And then there's these weird narratives like, oh, only 14% are violent criminals that have been arrested. Yeah, but 60% are criminals. 60% of the people plus were criminals. And like what by what definition violent criminals? Like what do you is it okay if they just come in here and rip people off? Like are you fine with that? It's just like the violent ones we need to get rid of? Like